Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and new footage from Captain America Brave New World is giving us quite a bit of context for this film, including some further looks at the Wakandan technology in Sam Wilson's Captain America suit that have us wondering, wait, is Wakanda a bigger piece of this plot than the marketing is letting on? In this video, I'm going to break down the recent trailer footage for this movie and dig into some interview footage that came out after I recorded my most recent Brave New World video as I attempt to explain how this movie could end with a post-credit scene that sets up Black Panther 3 and the new T'Challa of the MCU. Also, head on over to nerdriot.shop where we have an amazing new design inspired by Brave New World, a design we're calling Wingspan, which is now the name of two of my favorite things, this shirt and the awesomest tabletop game. Grab one of these, and if I see you wearing it at a Brave New World screening, either at one I'm at or one that you take a picture at and send to me, I will give you a shout out in a video. Deal? Deal. Okay, let's start by looking at the promo titled It's Time that released on January 18th.
We need a symbol that can unite us.
Oh, you think they carry us?
Wait for it. Save some for us, Cap.
Hello, new world.
Let's go. Oh!
Right.
Captain America caught in a trap.
All my descendants, they
You want me? Come and get me!
Oh, you think they carry us?
Captain America Brave New World. Get tickets now.
Ooh. So this trailer footage seems most centered on the Wakandan features of Sam's suit. His older generation suit with the white shoulders and the white cowl is the suit that he ended the Falcon and the Winter Soldier wearing, and we know that suit was built for him by the Wakandans who appeared on that series. But Kevin Feige and Nate Moore have confirmed that the other suit Sam wears in this movie, the red, white, and blue suit, was also designed by the Wakandans. That's the suit he uses in the aerial battle over Celestial Island in the Indian Ocean, and the suit he wears in his final battle with the Red Hulk. So the Wakandans are like in recurring contact with Sam Wilson, which I find very interesting. We see Sam using the percussive blast in this trailer. That's the 360-degree dome of purple energy that T'Challa, Black Panther, first used in the final battle of the 2018 Black Panther film, and really in all MCU film appearances since. And it's because vibranium has this unique property of absorbing energy and then redirecting it outward just like this. Actually, the 2018 Black Panther movie use of this attack that blasted T'Challa's mutinous countrymen from the Border Tribe off their feet has, ever since Endgame, been the shot that typically closes the Marvel Studios opening title fanfare as the letters of MARVL come together. So to see Sam Wilson using the move here, I believe could belie some deeper symbolism. We get a closer look at the purple glow that accompanies Sam's suit in a later shot in this promo, where you can see it covering his wings in a similar hexagonal pattern that we saw on all Wakandan tech and on the border of Wakanda. And specifically here, it makes the metallic portions of his wings look like vibranium, or we could be seeing the first actual use of adamantium in the MCU, because Brave New World is confirmed to be a conflict over the rights to mine adamantium that was discovered in Celestial Island, aka Tiamat's corpse. So why do countries like the United States and Japan want adamantium? Well, because Wakanda has vibranium. And based on that, we have to assume Wakanda would know about this plot and would also be trying to acquire adamantium of their own. But despite them having a navy that we saw them use in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I don't know if they're part of this fight between the United States and Japan. They may have acquired adamantium through some other means, which leads me to remind you that the Captain America shield that Sam currently carries in this movie is a shield given to him by old Steve Rogers at the end of Avengers Endgame, and we still do not know where that shield came from. But if old Steve came from another universe, as the Russos have said he did, and we're suspecting more and more with Chris Evans' confirmed return in Avengers Doomsday, it is possible that this new shield is made out of some other substance that they had in that other universe, like proto-adamantium. That could be something that the Marvel heroes of that universe had access to, and proto-adamantium is technically the substance Captain America's shield is made out of in the comics. And if my ongoing theory that Avengers Doomsday will show us an alternate Marvel universe that is technically more comic accurate to the Silver Age of the Marvel comics, who knows? The Captain America in that universe could have carried a shield made of proto-adamantium, and now with the shield there is proto-adamantium existing in the 616 MCU that makes this whole war over adamantium in Brave New World a bit more interesting. But if the Wakandans design Sam's new suit that he acquires in this movie, it tells us that the Wakandans have some role in this movie and in this adamantium war plot. We know that much. But let's take a look at the new featurette that came out on January 21st that features interviews from Anthony Mackie, Kevin Feige, and Harrison Ford, and a lot of new shots that we have not seen anywhere else.
I come to set every day with a smile on my face because we're making Captain America. And being handed the shield, it just means a lot to me. It's personal.
He has made that decision to become unabashedly Captain America.
Sir! Hey,
He stays.
And Harrison Ford playing President Ross is one of the many pinch-yourself moments.
I had seen actors in the Marvel movies have a really good time. And I thought, well, maybe I ought to get me some of that.
Harrison was cool, and he was great. And it was really interesting to see him sculpting a character in a world this big. I couldn't put a price on that lesson.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.
Captain America. You ever ask yourself, who's playing who?
Audiences are going to really appreciate bringing it back to old school Marvel. And I'm excited for people to see that.
So many surprises left.
You want me? Come and get me!
This promo focuses more on Sam Wilson's relationship with President Thaddeus Ross, whom this footage confirms will definitely be present on one of those American battleships during the battle near Celestial Island. And think about that, for a US president to be on a battleship in an active war zone, that does not happen. So I think it speaks to the unstable mindset of Thaddeus Ross, or could speak to this conflict with Japan being like a surprise attack. But either way, it sounds like Ross took this risk to personally join the US fleet into these disputed waters and disputed territories, assuming no other world power would dare attack. Like, personally joining this mission was like part of his strategic chess move. Also, speaking to Ross's unstable mind, we see this pretty cool shot of him punching in anger a desk and cracking it. An early instance of his Red Hulk strength starting to come through. I like the people I work with at New Rockstars, but I love our dogs. John, just okay, but Hank, A+. Riley, meh, but Bubba, yes. Me, 3 stars, but Darla, 5 stars. We are dog people here through and through, and we think our dogs deserve nothing but the best. That's why we feed them Sundays for dogs. Sundays is fresh dog food made from a short list of human-grade ingredients. Sundays is made with 100% meat, muscle, organs, and superfoods, and 0 synthetics or artificial preservatives. Every order of Sundays ships right to your door, so you never need to worry about running out. It's super convenient. Since giving our dogs Sundays, we've noticed a ton of improvements in their health. Softer fur, fresher breath, better poops, and more energy. Sundays doesn't require refrigeration or preparation because it's air dried. You can just pour and serve. If you're taking your dog on the road or on a trip, it's super easy to take some with you. The new year is a perfect time to upgrade your dog's routine. Give your dog the chance to try Sundays and watch them fall in love. Get 50% off your 2-week trial of Sundays at sundaysfordogs.com/newrockstars or use code newrockstars. If you sign up during January, you'll get a free Fi dog collar equipped with 6 months of live GPS and activity tracking, so make sure to sign up today. And later in this promo, we hear this new line from Tim Blake Nelson as Samuel Stearns, the leader.
So many surprises left.
I feel like Marvel put this line in a January 21st promo as a meta wink to viewers, a hint that despite seeing all of this footage of Red Hulk and knowing that Tiamat's corpse is returning from Eternals and that Adamantium is going to be part of the story, that there are still some big Marvel spoilers contained in this film that the marketing has not shown anything of. Which brings me to this January 17th interview with Fandango's Mark Ellis, a guy I've met a few times, and let me tell you, he is one of the best. I love you, Mark. Mark interviewed Anthony Mackie, Denny Ramirez, and hey, Julius Ona, who directed this film. Now, Julius Ona appearing in a press junket is a big deal because in our last Brave New World video, I mentioned that it was pretty unusual how Marvel Studios, since Captain America 4's announcement as New World Order back in summer 2022, Julius Ona has not appeared at press events like CinemaCon 2024, Comic-Con 2024, or D23 2024 to discuss this movie, as Marvel movie directors almost always do. Now, I shot that Brave New World video before this interview came out, and I am so relieved to see this guy on the press circuit because he is such a great communicator with a solid vision for this project and a great rapport with the cast. And there were some really, really interesting moments in this interview that we have to talk about. First, there was this moment.
We did a survey of Fandango users, thousands and thousands of verified users, and asked them what is their most anticipated films for 2025. Brave New World is number 1. We did it.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that.
Right,
Cap.
that's a wrap.
Hope they say the same
Done.
thing in March.
Done. There you go.
Oh man. So Anthony Mackie saying, I hope they say the same thing in March, struck me as the same kind of nervous energy as Emilia Clarke saying this about the upcoming Game of Thrones final season.
Have you shot your final scenes yet? And are you happy with how things ended? Yeah. She didn't say yes. You didn't say yes.
Best season ever.
Look, Anthony Mackie is a pretty cavalier guy. He jokes around a lot, and we could just read this as him trying to stay humble and not sounding overconfident, and knowing that realistically, some recency bias probably came into play in that survey, and that later in the year, fans, regardless of how good Captain America Brave New World is, are just going to be more excited for titles like Superman and Fantastic Four First Steps and Jurassic World Rebirth. But there was also this clip where Julius Ona talked about his influences for this film.
What's been so great about the Cap movies and the corner that they have in the universe is they've operated as these incredibly relatable, grounded thrillers, right? And with this movie in particular, we looked at everything from Day of the Jackal to Les Samurai to these iconic movies from the 60s and 70s, Point Blank as well, and really tried to take the paranoia, that vibe, that ethos, that energy, and infuse it into this film. And I think it's so important for a film like this when you have somebody like Sam Wilson at the center. This is a guy who is an earthy, grounded Captain America, someone we can see ourselves in, someone we can relate to because of the choice he made for how he wants to have his role work as Captain America.
Ooh, so let's break these titles down. Day of the Jackal was a 1973 thriller about a professional known as the Jackal, hired to assassinate French President Charles de Gaulle in the summer of 1963. And you may know this was later remade into that 1997 Richard Gere Bruce Willis film, The Jackal. Les Samurai was a 1967 neo-noir crime thriller about a hitman trying to find out who hired him for a job and then tried to have him killed. And then Point Blank also came out in 1967, a film that was directed by John Borman, starring Lee Marvin, adapted from a 1963 crime noir film, The Hunter, also a conspiracy thriller of this variety. Based on these films and Nate Moore in the past citing the Secret Empire comic run as tonal inspirations for this film, I just think they apply to the Patsy character of Isaiah Bradley in this presidential assassination subplot and how all of these things are really being manipulated by the leader. This interview with Fandango also had Anthony Mackie revealing that Chris Evans himself told him that Sam Wilson would be the new Captain America, and that the two of them read the final 10 pages of the Avengers Endgame script together in Evans' basement while they were shooting Infinity War.
His excitement for me becoming Captain America let me know that he knew I could handle it. You know, because I found out from him. And it was just us, like, jumping around in a circle, high-fiving, like, two 12-year-olds that just met Mickey Mouse.
So Chris Evans told you were going to be Captain America?
Yeah.
How was it?
That's my question.
Oh, I'm like, how was it? The movie's good then. It went well. You did great.
I haven't seen it. You've seen 3 cuts.
You did good. You did good.
I'm like, set the scene. Set the scene. Were you guys having coffee? Were you having a beer? Where were you at?
No, it was a bunch of us. We were shooting in Atlanta. It was a bunch of us at his house. He had this crazy house in Inman Park. So he's like, yo, come over to my house. So all of us go over to his house. We're sitting there watching a game, shooting. There's like paper. It's crazy. So he goes, have you read the new script? I said, no. He's like, you haven't read the? He's like, you don't know? I'm like, damn. And you know, being black, I'm like, I'ma die. Damn. Like, they getting rid of me, man. I don't even cause no trouble. I stand in the back like I don't bother nobody, right? So he's like, come on. So we run. He had this house. In his house, he had a trap door that went to a basement that was like a man cave of all man caves, right?
Woo, that could have gone dark quick.
It was, when he opened the door, I was like, Chris, you know? So we go down to the man cave and he has all of his like Marvel stuff laid out and his new script and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is your prep room. Like, this is your work room, you know? So he comes down, he gets the new script. He goes to like the last 10 pages and he goes, read it. So me, thinking they killed me off, he's just looking at me like, huh? Waiting. So I get to the part and it's like, you know, I'm reading the scene between us and he hands him the shield. I'm like, so why'd you give me the shield? He's like, because you're Captain America.
And then finally, Mark asked this question.
I imagine for a director, because these movies are known for like their post-credit scenes. I assume we get those in this movie just so everybody knows to stay until like the end.
You know, everybody should stay, but you know, I'm not trying to get shot. I don't know what's going on.
My last question for you, Anthony, is...
Aha! Did you catch that? There was definitely an edit there where something was taken out as Julius and Anthony were laughing. I think Anthony really kept talking about what this post-credit scene was, and then maybe after the interview, as is sometimes the case, Marvel's publicists might have asked Fandango to take out whatever that was. My theory is the post-credit scene in this movie will set up Black Panther 3. Why do I think that? Well, in December, Marvel Studios announced that Nate Moore was leaving the studio, but on good terms, and that he would be returning to produce Black Panther 3. Nate Moore produced this film, Captain America: Brave New World, and that statement from the studio was the first acknowledgement by the studio that Black Panther 3 was even happening since Denzel Washington confirmed that Ryan Coogler was working on the script for it. Scooper Jeff Snyder recently said on the Hot Mic podcast that he has heard that Marvel Studios is moving forward with casting a new T'Challa, but he didn't name any sources that supported that claim. But I do think the Wakanda of this movie will reveal themselves in the Captain America 4 post-credit scene, and they might have gotten that adamantium from a multiversal T'Challa who has made contact with them ahead of the Doomsday event. Now, whether this movie's post-credit scene actually shows us that T'Challa's face, played by an actor like, I don't know, Aldous Hodge, or keeps this T'Challa masked, I'm not sure how much Marvel Studios would be ready to commit to. But at CinemaCon last April, Anthony Mackie made some pretty lofty promises for this movie and how it would introduce a whole new era for Marvel. And until now, Kevin Feige has mostly entrusted the character T'Challa in all of his films to projects that Nate Moore is involved with. So we'll see what happens, but I think there's going to be more Wakanda in Brave New World than it seems from these trailers. Comment down below with your thoughts on all this. Follow me at EA Voss and subscribe to all 3 channels in the New Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.